momentum that was going on inside my head.
All right, congratulations on connecting with your higher mind and becoming more of a whole person so that you could understand that you could function from your joy instead of from your fear.
Thank you. And I remember like that day I yelled out, I was like, Bashar, please help me. Can you give me a sign? And I got into my car and I turned on the radio. I don't know the name of the song, but there was this song and it was like, and I'm on top of the world. Hey, was it?
Oh, a nice rendition.
I'm sorry. Oh,
that was you connecting to our vibration and getting a reflection from your higher mind because you used this as a permission slip to create the synchronicity you needed for yourself. So by all means, thank you for using us that way, but you're the one that did it.
okay.
That's how powerful you are.
Thank you.
All of you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we are happy to be utilized as a permission slip in lieu of the idea of you thinking that you're talking to your higher mind, but in fact, you're talking to your higher mind right now.
Yes.
Using us as a mask to make the process more palatable to you, because many of you don't believe you can speak with your higher mind. So we're happy to be used as that permission slip, but that's what's happening here.
And so I know my higher mind knows what I've been through, and I've been doing really good. I'm on like the brink of being completely in love with myself and working on self-love. And I feel
of love.
Yes. I feel like I'm on the last cusp of being the me that I want to be, but I still kind of have these beliefs that are petering out. They're not completely gone yet.
Such as? Can you name one?
Yes, like problems with my physical appearance.
Why do you have difficulty with that? Everything is what it needs to be representative of the path you chose to explore so that you would go through the appropriate process. And that is beautiful.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Does that help you?
Yes, it does. I was just looking for a deeper understanding because as I'm becoming who I really want to be, sometimes I become aware of when I'm in a parallel reality that I don't want to be. So I think I'm looking for a deeper understanding. As you say, fear is false evidence appearing real.
Can I give you a secret?
Yes, please.
Deep understanding isn't that deep. It's actually pretty obvious when you actually stop and look at it. It really only takes a little bit of logic, a little bit of obviousness, and you will have all the understanding that you need once you understand how the mechanism of existence actually works. That's all it takes. You just have to be able to see what the mechanism is, and then you can use it very clearly. So the deeper understanding that you're really talking about is just a deeper exploration of the beliefs within you so that you can identify them consciously. You see, any belief that is actually out of alignment with who you prefer to be, once you actually identify it clearly, will automatically appear illogical and nonsensical. And as soon as it appears nonsensical, it's gone. That's the end of the process of letting it go, not the beginning. Because anything that would appear nonsensical, you wouldn't hold on to. So that's why it's so important to identify them, because when you actually look at what the belief is saying and realize that it makes no sense, you let it go, it's gone. But you need to find the core belief. You need to identify it, because otherwise, if it remains unconscious, you have nothing to let go of, nothing to work with. So the deepness is just the deeper exploration of digging down and finding the core belief and being willing to be honest within yourself about what it is you believe to be true about yourself. Because I can guarantee you, you don't have to be afraid of digging deep down to find those core beliefs, because even though they may want to make you afraid to look for them, because that's simply how negative beliefs are designed to perpetuate themselves, to use your fear to make it less likely you will discover them and let them go. They're tricky little things. And the idea is, therefore, the more afraid you get, that means the closer you are to discovering them and letting them go, because they're throwing everything at you that they can to prevent you from doing that. So the stronger the fear, the closer you are to stepping out of it, to breaking free of it. Does this help?
It does. If I know you said when you identify them,
yes,
you let go of them, but if they are still active,
then you haven't found the core.
Okay.
Because again, one of the so-called tricks that many deep negative beliefs use is they will surround themselves what may seem to be the real issue, beliefs, and they will allow you to find those and let them go because you haven't found the real one yet, the core one yet, the fundamental one yet, and that will delay you. But if you understand that your behavior hasn't changed, you haven't found the core belief. Keep digging. Go deeper. You'll find it. Remember, all you really have to be is honest within yourself and say, what am I really afraid might happen if I actually was willing to be who I prefer to be? That will usually allow you to discover what the fear-based belief, the negative belief, is actually all about. What are you afraid will happen if you actually are willing to be your true self? Easy, yes? Yes?
Yes.
Maybe? All right. There's nothing to be afraid of because one of the tricks, again, of the negative belief is it will make you believe that if you dig down looking for that negative belief you have about yourself, that when you get down there, the negative belief will make you believe that it's actually going to be true. I'm not worthy. Oh no, I've dug down and I've actually discovered that I really am not worthy. Oh no, what will I do? I guarantee you, those negative beliefs will never turn out to be true. Because you see, what is true is that you are an indestructible, infinite being. And the negative belief has to lie to you about that in order to perpetuate itself. It has to lie because what it's telling you is not the truth. So it has to trick you, confuse you, lie to you, to get you to buy into the idea that you're not worthy, you're not deserving. That's the only way it can perpetuate itself, is to get you to believe those things. So it will use your emotions and your thoughts, your fears, to amplify those particular ideas. But once you really dig down and break through the illusion, the smoke and mirrors and the lies, you will find out it will never actually be true. Because if it was, you wouldn't exist if you were truly unworthy. Because creation doesn't make mistakes. So, argue with creation all you want about your worthiness, you will never win that argument. Ever, because you will never cease to exist. Because existence is the fundamental quality, and you cannot cease to exist. Non-existence, by definition, doesn't exist. So that which exists cannot become non-existent. So once you exist, that's it. You exist. That's your fundamental quality, to be. There is no not to be. Apologies to your Shakespeare. Is this helping explain the mechanism a little more clearly for you?
Yes, and my other question, I've heard you say, while I'm digging and bringing this stuff to the surface to be healed,
yes,
when something comes up, I've heard you say emotion is energy in motion. So
yes,
if the fear comes up,
celebrate
as
it.
just
Celebrate that it's come up, because the fact that it's come up is bringing your attention to something you need to know about so you can let it go. Like we said, if it remains unconscious, you have nothing to work with. Celebrate. The fear is there knocking on your door like a messenger saying, hey, there's something here you should see. The sooner you pay attention, the messenger will go away. But if you ignore it, if you deny it, if you're afraid of it, then it's going to knock louder and louder and louder and louder to get your attention, because that's what you want it to do. And it's going to start doing things, really doing things, to get your attention. Sometimes even allowing you to have accidents and all sorts of things that will really put you in a place where you then have no choice but to look at it. So don't go that far. You don't need to. You understand?
Yeah, so
use fear as your friend.
When they come up, celebrate the fear, don't panic.
Thank you, fear. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. You've done a wonderful job. Now you may go on your way, because now I'll deal with this. Thank you so much. Done. Simple as that. Make everything your friend. Everything happens for a positive reason, yes?
Yes.
You can use it for a positive reason. Even if something comes up that you don't prefer, you can use it in a positive way and get a beneficial effect. That's your job. It's just being what it is. Your job is to define it in the way that works for you instead of the way that does not.
As I put a positive definition into the beliefs and the things that I've gone through, then I'll get a different outcome.
Absolutely, because what you put out is what you get back. That's the law. You can't change that law. You can't break that law. It's part of the structure of existence. Number one, you exist. That's the first law. Can't do anything about that. Sorry. Number two, everything is here and now. Can't do anything about that. You can create the illusion that it's not here and now, but that doesn't mean it's actually not here and now. It is. The one is the all are the one. Can't do anything about that. What you put out is what you get back. Can't do anything about changing that. Everything changes except the laws. That's it. 5 laws. Everything you experience is built on those 5 laws, some combination of them. Everything else is your ball game, your perspective, your opinion, your beliefs, everything else. There are no other facts except those 5 facts. Everything else is just an opinion, a belief, a perspective. That's all.
Or an illusion.
Same difference. Because you're creating a projection in order to have an experience. So it's an illusion that feels real, so that you can have a particular experience. This is what beliefs are for. They have to perpetuate themselves, or you wouldn't be able to focus on having that experience. They have to seem real, and they have to seem like no other belief is possible at that moment. So your skeleton key is that you always know that no matter how real it seems, it's still just a belief, and a belief can be changed. That's what unlocks you from what may feel like a trap. This is not a fact, it's just a belief. It's just a perspective. How could I change it? What new definition could I give it that will give me a different effect? That's your responsibility to come up with that. Does that help?
Yes.
Sounds like fun? Yes?
Yes.
Sounds like empowerment? Yes?
Yes.
There you go.
My last question was, it's funny because before I discovered that YouTube video, I had actually I was very afraid of aliens my whole life. I don't know why.
Ooh, we're scary.
When I was little, I had a nightmare that I was in my hallway and I was going to the bathroom, and I looked outside and there was like 2 grays standing there.
Well,
and I woke up in the hallway, but I thought it was a dream, but then I woke up in the hallway.
Yes.
Did something really happen with that?
But the point is, there's really nothing to be afraid of. It's just that when you're not brought up understanding how to deal with these kinds of things that are actually going on around you in the universe all the time, then you feel like you're out of control, and that's what causes the fear. There's actually nothing to be afraid of in terms of being afraid of them. The fear you feel is the fears within yourself about things that are not settled within you, about your control in life.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. My deep love and appreciation.
Our unconditional love to you as well.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
How are you?
Perfect, and you?
Really good.
Oh,
Thank
all
you
right.
for coming here. I mean, it's very exciting.
Well, I'm not there, but thank you for the sentiment.
Yeah. It's the same thing. I mean, it's not the same thing, but... So, I have a few questions.
Yes.
Can you explain what happened in Atlantis?
Atlantis?
Yeah.
Do you mean its final destruction?
Could you give like a... Yeah.
What you call asteroidal impact into the Atlantic Ocean, causing a gigantic tsunami that wiped it clean.
Can you give a little bit more, like, before that? Like, what went on?
Well, there were many things that went on. It spanned many thousands of years. It reached a very, very high level of civilization, a very balanced level of civilization at one point. The idea, of course, however, is that over time, for a variety of different factors we won't go into too deeply, there became schisms and fear-based beliefs and all sorts of manner of negative and positive kinds of struggles and strife that eventually allowed the civilization to sort of break down over time and attract to themselves the idea of their ultimate destruction.
Okay.
That's what you call cliff notes of that history.
All right. All right.
especially because they sort of fell over a cliff.
Ouch. Do you have any like Atlantean ties?
All of you do.
All right.
All of you do. Because you're actually going through similar cycles now. Again, slightly different, but you're sort of connecting to those times to allow yourself to make different decisions about what direction you will go in as a civilization. So most of you are connecting to the idea of the Atlantean experience, since it actually does exist simultaneously with you in a parallel reality.
I kind of feel that. I feel that energy sometimes. So does
Yes.
my dad.
Yes. Well, you're drawing upon the information and experiences of the people there so that you can inform your experience here, even as many of them may be connecting to many of you to draw upon your experiences and information to inform their experience in Atlantis.
That's exciting.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, let's talk about the Orions. Same question. Do you have any like Orion ties as well?
Yes.
Like.
And again, the main theme in both contexts is the transformation of darkness and negativity into light and positive energy and freedom.
Was I like not really me, but was I part of the Black League or no?
You have some connection to that, but not exactly in the same way as the channel. But you are peripherally connected.
All right. That's cool.
It's whatever temperature you want it to be.
No, I have a question about the Oversoul.
Oversoul, yeah.
Yeah, why does the Oversoul like decide like keep having experiences on Earth? Like, does it want like?
What makes you think they're only having experiences on Earth?
Oh, true. I mean, it's all over the place.
It's all over
Yeah.
the place in all sorts of time frames simultaneously, yes.
Okay.
Remember, everything happens at once?
Yeah, yeah.
From its perspective, especially. So it doesn't appear from its perspective that it's having all these lives over and over again. It's just having them all at the same time.
So you're just basically finding a like new way to explain yourself, kind of, to the Oversoul. I mean, the Oversoul is experiencing its self.
It's experiencing itself as a collection of selves simultaneously experiencing themselves.
Okay, that's a little confusing.
All right.
I mean, it's a little confusing, but I mean, I understand it. I think.
Well, if you were watching, let's say, for example, on your planet, about 5 different television shows simultaneously on 5 different screens, you would at least have the beginning of an analogy. Because you would be paying attention, you'd be picking up on the essence of what each show is about and kind of absorbing all that and looking at the connections between them and seeing if there are patterns in that. And then taking those patterns as your experience and absorbing it and expanding your knowledge in that way by comparing and contrasting all those different 5 experiences all at once.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, it does.
All right.
Because sometimes I feel like they
Yes.
leak in sometimes.
They do. There's a lot of overlap in a variety of ways. What you think of as your history is actually a dynamically changing thing and is actually the result of overlaps of several different parallel realities from moment to moment.
So,
it's not a linear path.
Since everything's here now,
Yes.
you can actually change your story here and now, which would affect the like past
Yes.
and future.
The
as
past
well.
is created from
Yeah.
the present, not the
Yeah.
other way around.
Yeah. That's very exciting.
Because as you change yourself into a new person, linearly speaking, the only way that the existence of that new person would make sense is if they had a different past than the person that was there a moment ago. So you're connecting into a parallel reality, the parallel reality that's representative of that person, which contains the past necessary to have arrived at that person. So you're changing all the time. Your history is dynamic, never static. And you may not even know that. 5 minutes ago, you may have had a completely different history than you think you have now, but you will only remember the one that's relevant for the person you are at the moment, making you think you always have that history, but that's not necessarily so. 5 minutes ago, you may have been a completely different person with a completely different history, but you won't necessarily remember that because you don't need to, because it's not relevant for the person and history you are experiencing now.
All right.
You're constantly shifting, constantly shifting. If you really start to wrap your mind around how much you're really shifting, you're going to get dizzy very quickly.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That happens sometimes with me. I mean,
Yes. As you catch up to the rate of your shift, Sometimes it can be very disorienting, but that's all right. That's a good sign.
It's a crazy ride.
Yes. Anything else?
Yeah. Now,
Yeah, no?
yeah, I do.
All right.
Yeah, your planet.
Yes.
Since you don't have names, how do you know who you
Remember
yeah.
that we're telepathically linked.
All right.
We know each other's frequency and vibration.
All right.
We feel who everyone is.
It's kind of like here sometimes. I feel
Yes.
certain people. I
Yes.
sense their frequency and
You
energy.
know them without necessarily needing to know their name. You can feel the vibrational essence of them, so to speak.
That's so cool.
So that's what we do. But we do it consciously all the time.
Now, is planet Earth right now going through that? It will eventually get there.
Eventually,
Okay,
if you remain on the same path. Yes.
that's exciting.
Yes, it is.
It is. I have one final statement.
Yes.
This is like a dream of mine. I do want to play drums for you, for your civilization sometime.
All right.
That'd be fun.
Well, play them and we'll hear it.
All right. We can have
Doesn't matter where you
got a
are,
jam
where
session
we are.
sometime.
With the intention that you focus on us while you're doing it, it will be absorbed into our general collective frequency, and everyone that needs to perceive it will perceive it synchronistically.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do that when I practice.
All right.
It's gonna be fun.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Bashar.
much.